covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Coming up on DC News Now at noon, 2 women have been killed after a deadly fire in DC. What investigators are saying started the blaze. And later, how local law enforcement is planning for a safe State of the Union and what closures you need to know before you hit the road.
Well, some breezy winds and clouds are back in the picture, but our temperatures are still on the rise. Just how much warmer are we going to get throughout the rest of this week? We'll have a check of the forecast here in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Damon. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Breaking now, a man is in police custody today after a woman was shot in Mount Vernon, Virginia. Fairfax County Police responded to an apartment complex in the Ingleside neighborhood. Police say that the 2 people knew each other. The suspect was taken into custody in Prince George's County after a police pursuit. The victim was taken to a hospital with life-threatening injuries.
Once our canine officer found the vehicle traveling in Prince George County, immediately began that communication open line with them, sharing real-time updates about where he was traveling. And again, their quick response to this call for service took a dangerous person into custody.
And we will have more on this story coming up on DC News Now at 5. And we're also following developing news this afternoon. 2 elderly women have died after being trapped in their house during an early morning fire. It happened in the Tacoma neighborhood of Northwest DC. Our Lex Juarez is live at the scene this afternoon. And Lex, said this is the first fire fatalities in the district this year.
Yeah, that's right. A mother and daughter, Lina and Dorlin Russ, got stuck in the 2nd floor of this house as it was on fire early this morning. Now, I got to speak with the son and brother of the 2 just about an hour ago as he shared more about their lives with me.
And this survived the fire, so this is going to survive in our family.
A piece of Lina Elizabeth Russ's artwork. One of the keepsakes and photos her son Mark was able to save from inside of his childhood home.
A lot of people don't have this opportunity, so I consider myself extremely lucky to be able to have some of these things to remember her by.
She and Mark's sister, Dorlin Michelle Russ, died after being trapped on the 2nd floor during an electrical fire.
When you have fires, there's smoke, and sometimes people don't survive the smoke. Right. So, and that was the case this morning.
We do know that there were smoke alarms present in the home. We're working now to see, if they were functional.
The fire was contained in the 2nd floor. With the 2 deaths, DC Fire canvassed the neighborhood to ensure other houses have working smoke alarms.
We really want to get out there and try to prevent another tragedy from occurring.
Just like you check up on your health, you have to check up on the health of your residents.
Well, the fire marshal tells me almost every time they have to canvass a neighborhood, they find homes that need working smoke detectors. Today, they found at least 2 that had to be installed. If you need a working fire alarm in your home or you need to get it checked, that is a free service from the fire department. You can call 311 to set that up. Live in Northwest Washington, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
Lex, thank you. Traffic will be a challenge in parts of D.C. ahead of the President's State of the Union address. Our traffic anchor, Shanika Grimshaw, tells you what you need to know.
Heads up, commuters, road closures ahead of the State of the Union address at 9 tonight. The U.S. Capitol Police will temporarily close the following roads around the Capitol to ensure everyone's safety. Pennsylvania Avenue and Maryland Avenue between 1st Street Northwest and 3rd Street. 1st Street, Constitution Avenue, Independence Avenue, and at 5:30 p.m., more of those roadways will be closed. Constitution Avenue between Louisiana Avenue, 2nd Street, also Washington Avenue, Southwest, 2nd Street. It's a long list, but remember, in those areas, you will be closed and you cannot get through for a long period of time. So do keep that in mind if you're heading out tonight, and remember to drive safely. Those roadways will be open around 11 p.m. tonight.
Our thanks to Shanika Grimshaw. Capitol Hill is looking a little different ahead of tonight's State of the Union. Capitol Police released their traffic plans over the weekend. You just heard them. And now have security fencing back up and around the Capitol complex. The fencing first came up after the riot on January 6, 2021. Now it's become an unusual sight around big political events. With President Biden giving his second State of the Union tonight, the fencing is back up, but Capitol Police did not say exactly when it will come down. It's a sight that leaves people feeling uneasy, and for some, takes them back in time.
I was here when everything was blocked off during the midst of January, like around that time period. And so it just makes you realize that perhaps everything that occurred on January 6th is in ways large and small still going on.
And traffic closures will be the biggest inconvenience for people living and working in the area. The roads immediately surrounding the Capitol have been closed. And again, more closures will take effect at 5:30 tonight and then again at 7. But what does President Joe Biden hope to acknowledge in his second State of the Union address before Congress? Washington correspondent Raquel Martin talks about what we should expect.
President Joe Biden is gearing up for his second State of the Union address.
I want to talk to the American people and let them know the state of affairs.
Monday, the president told reporters his speech Tuesday night will focus on both what his administration has accomplished and what more needs to be done.
Core message is we have to make more progress, but people should feel optimism.
White House advisor Brian Deese says expect the president to highlight infrastructure investments, a booming job market, and emphasize inflation is on the decline.
Down now for 6 months in a row.
The president is also expected to call on a now divided Congress to get behind his so-called unity agenda, which includes bills to address the opioid epidemic, mental health, and cancer research. But Republicans say Americans need more.
People are very frustrated and concerned.
Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson says Americans want solutions, not more spin from Democrats.
We've got rising prices, rising crimes, the border is open. They try to actually convince us that these are positive developments for the country, and none of that's true.
Newly elected Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, says the president needs to work with Republicans and find ways to cut government spending before raising the debt ceiling this year.
We can have reckless spending, or we can have responsibility. We cannot have both.
Gel bakalım. Yavaş yavaş aç battaniye.
The video you just watched is a 9-year-old girl being rescued from the rubble of a collapsed building in Turkey after the devastating earthquake. There are thousands of collapsed buildings in Turkey and Syria. The death toll has climbed over 5,000 as countries around the world are sending aid to the two nations. And cleanup efforts are underway as Turkey's disaster management agency has more than 24,000 personnel on the ground. They are sifting through rubble of nearly 6,000 confirmed collapsed buildings, and leaders from around the world are also pledging their support. The Prime Minister of Pakistan will travel to Turkey's capital, while President Biden called the Turkish president to offer assistance.
Thinking about my sister, about my mom. The moment that happened, you know. How was she feeling? How hard was it for my mom?
And the Prince William County man is collecting donations from his friends for his family, and he also hopes to bring his sister back to the U.S. Prince William County man is heading to Turkey to be with his family affected by the earthquake. He says that his 15-year-old sister and mom's apartment building collapsed in the earthquake. His sister was able to get out, but his mom is still missing. And crews with Fairfax County's Urban Search and Rescue Team are headed to Turkey to help. The team will consist of 79 members and 6 dogs. The departure plans are still being finalized. Well, we've got a commuter alert this afternoon. Metro has just launched a new rush hour schedule as more and more riders come back to the system. DC News Now's Joseph Omo covers transportation for us, and he has what you need to know.
Hey there, Metro has more trains on their hands, and that means for you, less time waiting at the train station, and hopefully your train feeling just a little bit less packed because, boy, they have been crowded during the morning and evening rush hours lately. Now, these schedule changes aren't happening for the entirety of the Metro map, so take a look at what's changing and how it might affect your commute. The changes right now are only coming to the orange, blue, and blue plus lines, and they're only for the busiest days of the week, Tuesday Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and the busiest times during those days. We're talking rush hour from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then again from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Now I don't have to like plan my schedule out to like arrive at the Metro at a certain time. Now if I'm a little late, there's always another Metro coming like really quickly.
It's gotten so much better than in recent years. I remember during the pandemic, it was really a tough time. Was not my favorite time to ride the Metro because there was so much waiting in between trains. Not really like the early 2016 days when I first started riding, but I feel the progress and I actually enjoy my morning commute.
All right, so one thing to note about this, if you take a look at the Metro map here, you'll notice there's some stations that are served not just by 1 or 2, but by 3 different lines. In that case, if you're riding through one of these stations between Stadium Armory and Roslyn, the trains are going to be passing through those stations every 4 minutes. We're slowly getting better, and General Manager of Metro, Randy Clark, says we can expect even more schedule improvements later on this year. Reporting on the Silver Line, I'm Joseph Olmo. Back to you.
All right, thanks to Joseph. Meteorologist Damon Madsen joined us with the latest check on the forecast. Damon, what are we expecting today?
Well, Mark, not too much of a change from yesterday, but still a couple of things adjusting, if you will, as we go toward the middle of the week. One of the things that's consistent, it's still breezy out there, but the wind direction, that has changed for us. See those wind speeds there back up again after calming down last night. Right now in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range in Manassas, Leesburg, Hagerstown, D.C. Some locations, though, a little bit calmer than others. So, yeah, definitely a little bit less blustery and breezy than yesterday, but we at least still have the winds, and they're coming out of the south this time around, and that's keeping some of the warmth in place, but it's also helping to reinforce the clouds that have rolled right back into the mix here. We had some clearing last night, but very quickly this morning, those high clouds rolled right back in as a system is passing by well to our north, back up over the Great Lakes and parts of Canada, and that's what's helping to throw that cloud cover our direction, and it really is here to stay as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. But it's that high, thin cloud cover once again, folks, so we'll still have a few peaks of sunshine right through all of that cloud cover, and that will allow those temperatures to continue to climb. It's going to be another mild afternoon with highs mostly in the low to mid 50s. So the warmth is continuing to hold true as we go into the middle of the week. Now, one thing we haven't had much of late has been rainfall, and you can say that for the most part of the last 30 days and even most of 2023, things have been very much on the dry side across the entire DMV and 4-state region. So the question is, are we going to get much rainfall here tonight or over the next few days, or will it continue to stay dry and very, very warm? We'll have a check of that full forecast here in just a bit.